That's
Fuck!
what the fuck? Remember how we said therapy doesn't exist in this world?
Nope. They need a. I'll tell you one thing. They need it.
They need it.
They need it. Oh wow.
Everyone needs therapy after this.
Yeah, that was it's funny because so we record these on Mondays.
Yep.
And this was the fastest I've ever seen people start posting not heavily spoiler imagery online.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew Thirsty Armin was going to be coming up.
Okay.
I also knew that Connie screaming "We're friends" was going to be coming up. Didn't expect how it was going to end, though.
Again, it's always in Attack on Titan where the power of friendship just comes crashing down.
Yeah.
We're like 3 for 3 on just coming back to bite you in the ass.
Oh, man. Honestly, leave Connie on the island after this. Just like, if he makes it out alive, we're just gonna leave him.
Again, if. That's an if.
If.
All right, well, welcome everybody to an episode of 2Fast2Movie. My name is Abraham, and that is Ben. And today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 26 of Attack on Titan, titled Traitor. I had to do it. I had to do it for the meme.
There's a lot of traitor jokes within this reaction for sure.
It's very sad though.
Yeah,
I'm
like
it's actually like we just watched this 5 minutes ago. I've read this already.
Yeah.
This was probably one of the most brutal episodes in the show so far.
This was
rough.
I love the poeticisms of it. I love the fact that it like relates itself so back well to just the source material and like all the themes that exist within the show.
Yeah.
But this is a spicy one. I feel like we should just get into the reactions and we can talk about it because oh boy.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and cut to the reaction and we will see you in a minute for the post discussion.
Wow, it's really weird to see Hanji and Magath doing recon together. Boats and stuff. Good technical terms, Hanji. Or translator.
Translator,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's not even ready to fly.
Jesus. Yeah, because they never really had the deal come to fruition. So no one's really used it yet.
Yeah, this is the crux of it.
You guys gotta be willing to kill Yaegerist, I'm sorry. Ooh, since cadets?
Yeah, since season 1.
Ooh.
Not all of them, I'm sure, because there's definitely some.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It feels like a lot of the Yaegerists could have been from the other military branches.
Right.
Yeah. You didn't want to start.
Oh God. I don't remember this. I don't remember this.
Nope.
Oh.
Is this a good time to mention the survey that we had on the channel?
What was the survey that you had on?
Who's gonna die first? Magath was top of the list.
Oh. Is that thirsting Armin? Is that?
Yeah, that's the thirsting Armin image.
That's what
I
you're
love
talking
how
about?
that you immediately got that.
I was like, I get it. I understand. He's drawn.
He hot boy at that moment.
He was
for sure.
drawn very beautifully.
Even Magath was looking on at him like. Yuck. Wow, this.
Oh. Yes, forgot about that.
Yeah, this really has some. This really has Nazi Germany vibes now.
Speech 100.
Yep.
Literally. You remember when I said
I remember Don's.
Daz.
I don't remember Samuel.
He was the guy who fell and Sasha caught when the Colossal Titan first showed up.
Ah, I see.
In episode 4 of season 1.
Got it.
Whoa, what?
How dare you?
That's not true. Oh my god. Traitor! Traitor! Look less suspicious. He's like, I don't have proof, but it's better just in case. Whoa. Imagine you're Armin right now, just like, fuck, we're gonna have to kill.
Ooh. You got that plot armor, girl. You're good.
Take near Mikasa. Shit. He can't die.
He's a Titan.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Titan. He's fine.
Yeah, I know. I forgot to.
He needs a lot more than that to die. Oh, whose feet? Oh, this has got to be female. Yeah. There she is.
Oh my god.
Connie.
That's
Fuck!
What the fuck? Remember how we said therapy doesn't exist in this world?
Nope. They need a. I'll tell you one thing. They need it.
They need it.
They need it. Like, could you imagine if this was set instead, like in modern era, where like therapy at least kind of exists? I don't know how much it actually exists for soldiers.
Oh my fucking god! All right,
We don't treat our veterans very well here.
we're gonna do our best to try and vent, decompress, and then we'll be right back. Holy fuck!
Holy shit. Okay.
Ugh.
All right. So
That was rough.
yeah. We're all traitors, ladies and gentlemen.
I also can't stress that's where they ended it.
Oh, on his blood curdling scream too.
Just like standing over the bodies.
Oh God. So I do wanna give a little shout out to our community. We held a little bit of a poll about like a day ago of just because we're now getting into the the final bit of this season before we get into the movie or part 3.
Probably movie.
Probably I'm guessing movie.
Yeah.
If it were a 3-part season, that would be absurd.
It's roughly,
but I'd also be okay with it.
like 8 chapters worth, maybe 9. So yeah, that's movie territory.
I feel that as well. But I do want to just go over a thing. So we without manga spoilers, and keep your manga spoilers out of the well, actually, you can label them as spoilers if you want to put them in the comments. But regardless, we had a little bit of a poll to see who we thought was going to die by the end of the season.
Yep.
Not before the movie, essentially, and in this fight. So the highest rated person was Magath. Then after that, Connie, which after seeing today's episode, I fully believe he's skyrocketed up there. And then at third place was Hanji, who I have been toting on since the beginning of part 2.
Yeah.
And then Gabby and Jean are seen as pretty safe. Although 2 of you voted for Gabby over Jean, I'm gonna fucking find you.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a pairing. Like, if anything, I'm not gonna lie, Gabby's also in danger.
I do agree to an extent.
Most of the characters have done terrible things, and I don't know.
The thing is, like, Isayama likes to kill characters after they've finished plot progression.
Right.
He does the George R. Martin where, like, once they're done with their purpose in the story, there's
free game.
Free game. There is very little chance of them surviving.
So it's very possible. It's funny how Magath and Hanji actually serve kind of the same role.
Yeah.
And given how Magath also apologized in this episode,
exactly,
it was a whole thing. But regardless, thank you for the poll, and thank you for everyone who has voted for it. If you did like that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our community posts, join the polls, join the discussion. We'd love to have you there. So let's jump into the discussion first. The rumbling is a main.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Actually, it came.
It already happened. Off screen. By Hanji's estimation, it's already reached Marley, which is a horrifying prospect.
Yeah. So I guess like the big question here is like, what is the timetable for like, because they have to finish this thing and then
they have to finish the whole fight, recover from that. first.
And then they gotta service a fucking plane.
Yeah, because the boat's not ready. Like, they make it like explicitly clear. Like, Onya Capone is like, I don't know if I can fly it, but we were planning to like do
we're gonna take a week. It was gonna be easy. We're gonna shoot shit with the engineers. Like, I had a whole plan, man.
We had to service it, buddy. Like an oil change takes like you gotta call that. You gotta call that shit in ahead of time. You can't just fucking wheel in a car. But that kind of like all together kind of culminates in the big question: how long will it take to reach Aaron? And if the rumbling is already started at the beginning of this fight, where do you see? It's too late to stop the rumbling.
Yeah.
The rumbling's already starting.
I do not see it, in a poeticism to this. At the end of the story, I do see Marley being completely toppled. If there is a chance of them saving the world, Marley's not included in that statement now. Which is kind of a weird thing, because Marley was the main
powerhouse.
He was the main powerhouse and was the abuser of Titan warfare.
Yeah.
And in abusing Titan warfare, they are also very directly responsible for how the world sees Eldians outside of Marley.
Yeah.
Because if Titan warfare wasn't used, the anti-Eldian sentiment would have died down over time.
Probably, yeah.
So and like we've talked about this on the channel and in the comments, how like a ban on Titan warfare actually would do a shitload for Eldians in general. And I'm okay with I'm kind of okay with this prospect for the story. I'm not okay for the humanitarian side of things.
Oh yeah, the people die.
Yeah, all the people dying, horrible.
Yeah.
Bad. But like, if only Marley goes by the end of the story, I think that would be a good way for things to go.
That's the problem. If Marley goes and like and I feel like we should actually probably point this out now, because this is something that the Kiyomi does say later.
Yeah.
That even if you kill everyone, and Armin says this too, you're just making the world smaller. The Titan War, all of that hatred is just now going to be huddled on the island. So
again, this is all actually going to come down to how they deal with Aaron as to removing that sentiment and figuring. And again, we also haven't had an internal Aaron POV yet. We've only had external. There's still a lot left to be done, and that is going to be answered in either part 3 or the movie.
Yep.
Most likely the movie.
Could be by the end of the series, actually, because we've got 2 more episodes.
Yeah, if we jump to Aaron's POV for the actual final, that would be insane. I would love that. But really, it's like, this is the whole thing with like any sort of story that you have. Your controlling idea is based off of where the character started and how they got to the end.
Yeah.
And how they decide to resolve the main conflict is going to decide essentially how the world sees them, if there is a happy ending, if there's not a happy ending. It doesn't come down to if, it comes down to how.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Yeah, and like, there's still so much in the show that I'm like, I don't see how they're gonna do it. I see Mikasa being key in it. However, still her killing Aaron is a cycle of violence. So they would have to pull some Full Metal Alchemist shit where like things can be. Well, Full Metal Alchemist isn't fair because they're fighting monsters, not humans. But they would have to They would have to resolve it in a way that does not perpetuate a cycle of violence in order for everything to be fine.
Well, that is all I can really say, because again, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to provide thoughtful discussion. But moving on, the crux of this episode and the title, Traitor, really stems from a conversation that Reiner and Annie have with the scouts.
Yeah.
It comes down to them understanding the position that they are in, recognizing that they do not want to murder their friends. Yeah, and I guess what do we think of just
the
controlling idea of the episode, really?
I do love the I do love these thematic elements that are in here. I love the discussion that has been had in the foil that you can make between the Warriors and the Scouts, specifically the Warriors season 2 / female Titan arc.
Yeah.
And the Scouts in that situation where they had already built friendships with these people and had to go in and start killing them. But also, I think that there's a really strong foil to how the walls were knocked down as well, because in all of these when the walls were knocked down, these were warriors that were doing it because it was under orders and they thought that they were saving the world.
Yeah.
They thought that they were doing the genuinely good thing. Granted, it was all informed by hatred and bigotry.
Yes.
And then season 2 comes around and the female Titan arc, and they're much wiser. However, their belief system still dictates that they have to do this for the good of humanity.
Right.
And they make the ultimate choice to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at this point where, like, even Magath has come around and apologized that they're like, yeah, you guys should not have to do this.
Yep.
We are the ones that are beyond absolution at this moment. And that's really what Magath's speech comes down to, is like, I am sorry. You guys should never have been subjected to this. And not only that, he even apologizes to the warriors.
Yeah. And yeah, to all of them being like, you're also like just got dragged into this.
Yeah, like you guys shouldn't have had to, because they are part of the 9 Titans. They have to shoulder the entire Eldian legacy on their back, which is like, no wonder Reiner fucking breaks, man. Like, that is a big responsibility. So with all that being said, the fact that it ends with the moment with Armin having the flashing back to Bertold's speech as someone has to get blood on their hands, and you can tell Armin's about to do it. Armin's about to be the one that kills both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Connie takes over. That is absolutely fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's so bad. Sorry, I'm like it. I can't get over it. That like the blood, the scream, the absolute distress on Connie's face.
Connie's voice actor fucking killed it too on that.
Honestly,
oh my god,
Connie has like low key been higher tier than John and Connie. Or John and Sasha, I mean, in terms of like importance to the story and
character development.
Because he was just like, I'm a stupid guy. Like that's my character.
He was the comedic relief with Sasha, and then Sasha was gone, and he only could play sad boy hours.
But even before then, his mom Titan bullshit, the whole betrayal with like, there's a lot.
That's the idea. Is we now explore the other comedic relief character before we brutally murder them, probably at the end of this season.
Hey, you never know. Hey, speaking of Magath. We should talk about the moment that prompted him asking for forgiveness.
Yeah,
and that was the for lack of a better term, interrogation of Yelena.
It was torture.
Yeah, it was kind of torture. Well, no, it was interrogation because it was with a point. It was, where is Eren Yeager? Like, where's he going? And again, Yelena is bad. I'm not gonna.
I'm not defending Yelena at all.
And I don't necessarily feel bad that she got like an arm popped out of her. Like, she'll heal.
I know at the end it wasn't popped out of the socket, man.
It was broken?
Yeah, it was just broken at the bicep.
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would rather have Magath do that in service of trying to find out where the genocidal maniac is. No,
that is.
So I'm like, Magath, you kind of popped off a little too hard, but at the same time, I get it. You know.
And also, like, I like how everyone's like, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Not don't do that. Just like, wait.
Later. We'll get the info later. But yeah, and then he does this, and he like loses himself a little bit, and then he just like looks up at Gabby, which. The little like sad puppy dog eye that he gave when that happened, he's like, oh, I got drunk and yelled at my kid. Like, that's kind of that's the vibe that gave a little bit.
He does have like a very paternal vibe with Gabby that I think is definitely played up in this. And Gabby, we saw this last episode as well. Gabby is kind of his moral compass when he sees that he's doing something wrong, and Gabby's seeing it, and he's understanding that his actions and the actions of Marley have an effect and are causing this girl pain.
Yep.
And this is the reason why I've always liked Magath. He has always seen the Eldians under his thing as human.
Yeah, he's always cared about. Remember when when the attack on Liberio happened, and like Gabby came back, and she was like, "Sir, yes, sir. I just came to report the thing." And he was like, don't ever worry, like a parent.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry me again. Where the fuck were you? Like, you had me scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
And then he hugged her, like, when she, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
The writing has been on the wall for Magath for a while.
Yeah,
And it's good to see that honestly, I'm not going to lie, surface level, it could be considered a heel turn. A very, like, sharp 180, like, oh, you just said this one thing last night, but then you did this apology the next day. But when you actually, like, when you actually look at the subtext and, like, what's been happening.
It's always been there, which is the reason why, like, when he said that night, and, like, I was like, I'm not surprised, but the reason why I still like him is because he has had a very important role in the lives of all the Eldians that he's been in charge of.
Yeah.
And important in a good factor. He has been someone that has, again, treated everyone as human, and really he's just... Now, that was his first conversations with Eldians on the other side of the walls, and his dogma is still there, and it's kind of the excuse that he's always given himself for the Order of the Walls and for everything that's kind of happened.
Honestly,
on that.
and it's also for, like, involving these like the other warriors.
Yeah.
The only reason why he's, like, indoctrinated these warriors and, like, is adamant about their involvement in the war is because of the dogma that he believes.
Yeah.
And so now that he's, like, recognized, like, oh, like, that sucks for them, he's like, that's kind of why he's, like, turns and goes, like, I should also be apologizing to these children, these child soldiers that I've been training for.
Oh my god. And I'm sorry, the face of all of the scouts when he gives the apology.
Shook.
Yeah, they're just fucking stunned.
How do you respond? Because, I mean, from John's perspective, he was like, you called all of our suffering terrible and then you apologize the next day. Like, and again, it's tough for them because they don't know Magath like we do.
Yeah.
We've seen Magath kind of growing on the sidelines in the background for a while.
I think John is, first of all, John's in a very completely justified anger. But at the same time, like, he's been through a lot in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, that, of course, he's going to be a little bit more likely to lash out.
Yeah.
Because it's information that is going still against his belief system. And, like, when you get information that is contrary to what you would believe, even if it's about a person being a decent human being, you're very likely to reject it.
Yeah. It's the nature of humans.
Yeah. And then but Armin takes a much more strong point of, like, he accepts the apology. However, he's like, you guys are not doing this. We are going to do our best to make sure that it doesn't come to that. We're not going to sit on the sidelines, but we are going to have to get our hands dirty if this fails.
Speaking of if it fails, let's talk about the plan. So the plan, just so that you can understand what exactly was, they were going to pretend that the cart titan took the armor titan into the water to swim to catch up to Aaron to stop him. And that Armin and Connie were chasing after them on horseback after a day and a half of travel. And then they were going to use the Osmobitos to catch up to them with the flying boat.
So, yeah, there's holes in it.
There's a bunch of holes in that plan.
And I mean, we've been talking about Floch for a while. Floch is...
He's not a genius.
He's not a genius, but he's not a fucking idiot either.
He saw through it immediately.
Honestly, Floch is, like, kind of just, like... honestly, I see Floch as being just whatever Isayama needs him to be as far as a villain's concerned.
Yep, because in one moment he's, like, tactfully, like... trying to, like, understand the logic behind the plan, going, like, it would, like, why would they do on horse? If they knew they were going south, they would just use the train. Why are they going on horseback? I don't have any proof. Fuck it, I'll shoot him just in case. And then gets tackled by an old woman.
Yep.
So...
yeah, it's... And, again, Floch is someone that, like... The reason why he can get away with this is Floch is someone that we have only ever known as an antagonist. And, like, there's...
No, that's not...
Yeah.
No. That's not true.
Yes, by definition, he has always been an antagonist.
He has not always been... Dude, in season 3.
Yes. In season 3, he didn't want Armin... He was trying to stop the protagonist's goal from being achieved. And in that of...
By that logic, you're saying Levi... I mean...
Levi has been an antagonist in the show.
Okay.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Okay, fine. If you want to get technical about it, sure.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that, like...
He's been an antagonistic force against the characters.
Yes.
I would not call that, like, again...
There's a line between antagonist and villain. There is a major difference.
When you say antagonist off the rip, I was like, this is...
He always has been an antagonist, but not like in a, like, I'm going to kill you, I'm a Titan
for
kind
sure.
of way.
Now that you make that, he has.
Yeah,
That's true.
he's always been playing against our main characters.
Yes.
He's never been truly on their side. The first time we meet him, he's a snivel-nosed brat who does not want to go into a death charge.
True.
And then after that, he does not want them to revive Armin. After that, he berates Armin for being alive. And then after that, he's a fucking Nazi.
I mean, okay, that's kind of simplifying the whole Erwin situation. Because, like, let's be real. In any other setting, bringing back Armin is the fucking stupidest.
No. I agree that, like, it's a very, like, everyone raises eyebrows. I'm just talking because we have POV characters.
Yes, exactly.
That's the reason
true.
why. That's the role he plays in the story.
Yes, you're not wrong. But I'm like, objectively, Floch was right in that moment. Right in that one moment. Even though he was an antagonist to the characters, he had a point.
No. I completely, because I had that same moment. I was just like, Armin's dead, guys.
Yeah.
Like, he's not coming back. There's no way Levi's gonna. And then Levi just sees Erwin just like floppy hands, like in a dream, bat the thing away, and he's like, it's a sign. I am grossly simplifying what was happening in that character
I know,
moment.
but I kind of love it because it just makes Floch seem more like a fucking dick, which I don't care about.
I mean, but like, that's the thing is like, because Floch has always been an antagonist, like, antagonists are an interesting thing in fiction because, like, antagonists can literally do anything you want them to do, and the audience will have a way easier time accepting it because they are posing the challenge to the main character.
Yeah.
And, like, that is just the thing. You don't actually have to worry about your antagonist a ton as far as what they can do, because if you pull something out of your ass for what the antagonist can do, like, your audience will just be like, oh, fuck, how did they do that? This is bad. And they will just roll with it.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, super far out of left field and you've done no, like, foreshadowing for it.
In this case, it's really just Floch becoming the head.
Yeah, just being like, oh, he had a big brain moment and realized that they were lying.
Here's the thing. He didn't have a big brain moment. He tried to, like, understand why it was happening, and then he outright said, I don't have any proof, but
I'm just going to shoot this bitch.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I'm right, here's the thing, because that's the thing. If they're right, then the Armored Titan and Peak gotta fight fucking Godzilla Titan. Which, like, Floch's a betting man. Like, I'd bet on Heron. I'd bet on Heron.
You know what? Really fucking good point.
It's like, he's not.
I hate that, like, when we break it down, like, it's like, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
This is the reason why I like Floch, because it's like it's like he's
such an average dude.
No, he's an underdog. He's like the underdog villain. Every time you think, what the fuck, Floch? Like, obviously Floch is like, get fucked, Floch. Like, even when fucking Annie and Ryan are like transformed, he didn't die immediately. He's probably still around.
Yeah. Which is like, the plot armor on that moment, by the way, just the fact that, like, they can both spring up right next to him and he's like, I'm gonna go away and you're just gonna beat up my henchman.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want Floch, but with like a red, just like twirly mustache. That's what I want. Yeah. This
seen through my plans.
This is the reason why I just love this character so much. And like, it really shines.
I appreciate him as a villain. Also, we haven't really had an Attack on Titan villain that hasn't been a shifter before.
Wow. Yeah, because even in season 3, it was the King of the Wall,
and he eventually turns into a Titan.
Yeah, we never had just had like straight up human
just straight up human. The final conflict that we're gonna have to resolve with them is gonna have to involve killing a human, not a Titan.
Yeah,
like, that's something that we just have not had it in like any of the story arcs here. So in order to make that work, he has to be a pretty imposing figure, and Isayama did that.
Yeah, very well.
And
honestly, surprisingly well.
Yeah,
because
I still don't know how people are Yaegerist with this fucking dude just being there.
Like, you do realize the guy that you hate. Because here's the thing, the reason why the Yaegerist conversation is so funny to me is because people are like, yeah, I'm a Yaegerist, and then they're also like, man, fuck you, Floch.
I know.
It's like, that's your man. That's your poster child.
That is the guy leading your charge, and you agree with him on every single piece as far as this story is concerned. If you were to meet him in the real world, you'd be like, yeah, genocide. That's a good dude.
It's the fucking SpongeBob Man Ray meme. This is a character you hate, right? Yes. And he's a Yaegerist, right?
Yes.
Therefore, you should hate the ideology of the person and the character that you hate, right?
Yes.
So you're not a Yaegerist, right?
I'm a Yaegerist.
It's literally that conversation every time.
Yep.
God. All right. Well,
so
that's kind of like
the plan.
The plan failed.
Yeah.
Shifters are all about Annie and Ryder transforming. It was great to see them again. Mikasa gets some action.
Oh, Mikasa. I love how the second light Mikasa goes in there. It's just like, it's game over for literally everyone in that room.
One of the kills was so fucking funny. You know what she did to the guy? She bopped one guy in the head, and then
just pressed the gun into his face.
And then it imprinted on his face.
I don't know if it was death. No, he's definitely going to the hospital.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Probably a broken face. Because again,
could you imagine a gun-printed scar in your face? We have seen this woman just lift straight up train rail before.
Can we also talk about Magath real quick? How he had a scout.
Yeah, he was wearing. It's the first time that we've seen him on the ground in battle. Not in the back of the cart Titan.
No. In what's it called? In season 4 part 1.
That was an ambush.
Okay.
Sir wasn't he did not go into battle in that moment. Battle was thrust upon him.
He was prepared to die. He was like,
yeah, you prepare to die after someone breaks into your house.
I mean, was it an ambush if they knew that they were coming?
Oh, that's a good point. He and Willie Tiber were kind of on the same page of there's gonna be a fight. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, no.
They were like, we're strapped. I'm ready.
Okay, I'll take that back. It's the first time he's in battle, but with the scouts, he's wearing a scout.
Where did he get it?
Levi. Well, no, Levi's would have been blown to bits.
Did Mikasa have? Mikasa didn't have one.
Mikasa didn't have one. Honestly, there's a lot of places they could have gotten it from. Actually,
it's just like the idea that they're like in like the fucking like Goodwill bin, just like trying to find them close.
We need to blend in.
Yeah,
sir.
Need to blend in. God.
The defense scene with that, I mean, again, like this all kind of the real crux of this, like as much as there was a cool battle, we got to see Annie turn into the female Titan again.
She looks good.
Looks very good.
Look good.
And we got to see her and
Reiner
battling side by side, and like actually, like I don't think I've ever seen a Titan watch someone else's back before.
Part 1, kinda. Porco and like they were kind of like.
That is fair.
It's
just that scene of them backhanding out.
It's because we know these characters a lot more intimately than we did the other.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more subtext of it when them watching each other's back, especially like we talked about this on the show, but the Reiner Annie thing is just
all sorts of problematic.
Yeah, all sorts of fucked.
Remember when he was like, "Hey, get a look at that Titan's ass."
I was literally about to bring that up.
And he knew exactly who it was.
It was the specific line was, "Who's the Titan with the nice ass?"
Yeah.
And immediate. Wait a minute. It was directed at Armin. Isayama with the foreshadowing, baby.
Yeah. Hardcore that's the foreshadowing. Okay, sure.
It's the first sign.
Yeah,
first ever sign.
As you were saying, the crux of this episode is
wow, we've gone completely off the rails.
Yeah.
Connie shoots his friends in the face.
Yeah. Kind of to tie it all back together. I will say again, this is another moment where the manga has been elevated substantially. The music choice, the voice acting. and the intentional choice to cut back and forth between Armin and Daz's eyes was not shown in the it was shown once.
It's treated as the entire B plot for the for this battle for this episode. Obviously this battle at least has another episode in it at the very least.
Yeah, for sure.
But the choice that they made of having it be the through line, having it, and also story-wise, the fact that this was Armin and Connie's way of being we want to do this without killing our friends, but they were also putting themselves in a situation where if it went south, they would have to kill someone. But it probably never crossed their mind that it would have been Daz.
Yeah, and Samuel's been
I forgot that he existed.
He, again, like I said to you in the episode, when the Colossal Titan showed up again on the second wall, and all those people got blown off, and one of them was unconscious. Remember how Sasha jumped down and grabbed someone by the leg?
Yeah,
that was him. So he was on that thing when Sasha made the promise of we can just
we'll expand our land and eat meat together, and that's what was quoted in that moment.
Yep.
And then I mean, Daz, if you've been following the podcast when we've done our rewatch, I was explicitly being who the fuck is this guy?
Yep.
Why are we paying attention to him? And then you're you're gonna want to know who Daz is.
Yep. Yeah, because Daz is from the episode where Ymir saves. Ymir and Krista are training in the snow, and he's dying, and so she transforms into a Titan to save him. He was also in season 1 with Commander Pixies, when he did this whole wall speech, and he almost tried to commit suicide. John had to stop him, and then he almost turned away to flee. It was a whole thing. But yeah, just
these guys have been around since the beginning. Just little background characters.
Yeah.
Honestly, it kind of I feel for Isayama because it feels like he really wants to develop. He actually does a really good job developing all of his background characters. Yeah. Which is the reason why in season 1 it felt like I don't know who we're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yeah.
Because there were so many characters that you'd be introduced to that had their own little stories and quirks.
That's the thing.
And then a lot of them would die or then just be suddenly off screen for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So it was really only by end of season 2, season 3 that we knew who the main characters were.
Yeah, exactly. But I do appreciate the fact that even if you don't remember who these characters are, it's Armin and Connie sell it.
Yeah.
If the voice acting, honestly, if the voice acting and the animation didn't pull through and you didn't feel how hard of a choice this was, and the direction as well.
Oh my gosh.
This would not work as well as it does. And considering how you didn't remember Samuel and you wouldn't have remembered Daz unless I pointed it out to you.
No.
This is a very effective scene. Probably, and like I said, some of the most brutal deaths I think in the show.
I mean, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what else is going to be coming up.
So join us next week for another episode of Attack on Therapy. Let us know what you thought of this episode down in the comment section down below. We really like to know your thoughts on these episodes. Were you as emotionally traumatized as we were in this episode? We're not your therapist, so keep the comments brief. But we'd love to hear from you. My name is Abraham. That's Ben, and this is 2Fast2Movie.
How bad would it be if we just had people trauma dumping in the comments?